And it's like, you're almost trying to throw as much on the wall as possible and see what sticks, right? See what channels work. But I think what we help do in the membership to accelerate that is, obviously there are a handful of things that tend to work really well in the beginning, more so than other things that you probably focused on more, such as networking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, but I started the networking in August, and that is, um, before then, I hadn't been throwing enough stuff against enough walls to grow any faster. And I was at peace with that. It was just, it is what it is. It's going slowly. Not going to let it stress me out. Um, then starting business networking, really, that was not instantly, but that particularly by now has really delivered very well. A big chunk. It's now rivaling the walk-ins for the source of my client base.
Interesting. And I do want to underscore what you said earlier about, focusing on the workout, the customer experience is like the most important thing. Obviously, giving it a great experience that's remarkable, that then gets that person to tell someone else, get a referral. Luke has a great, was it saying for this? I don't know whether he'd come up with this, but it's one rep, one set, one client. It's like, if I can just focus, like I remember when he was in his early days, when he had financial worries, cash flow issues right back at the beginning, he would just be like, look, if I can just focus on this client right here in front of me and do a great job, one rep, one set, one client, it's going to solve my retention problems. It's going to solve my referral, my lead gen challenges, because I'm going to get referrals. And I just think that I love that simplicity. Obviously, there's more to a business than just that, but
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
important.
and
Big part of it.
it's true, and it was true. It's just when I had 6 clients, none of them really had the personality that they liked referring. It didn't work, but
Right.
nothing's changed. The quality and the effort that I've put into sessions was high then, and it's high now. But now I get referrals, and it's just because different people have come in and they're like, "Wow, I've told my friend about this straight away," or I'm going to tell I'm going to tell these people, or I've now got 3 spouses, sort of thing.
Hmm.
People who've bought their other halves. So it's just it's now going, but it's you. Well, like if you think about what Pete Circle's been saying in several of the podcasts, his model of like you get 1 in 100 or you get a few in 100 who are super referrers.
Mm.
So referring is absolutely powerful, but it doesn't mean it's going to be powerful with each person.
Right. There's always going to be a Pareto distribution, like an 80-20, right? No, well, in Pete's example, like a 95-5, like 5% are responsible for, like, all of that, the referrals.
Yeah.
So, okay. So it sounds like you almost had to get to a critical mass, or you had to get a certain number of clients before you could start seeing those referrals happening, because you're then
Yeah.
coming across the right individuals for that.
Yeah.
And were they, I mean, maybe your target market's evolved, but are they all the good referrers? Do they tend to be your target market, would you say?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
would. So the last 2 days, 2 people have been in who are in their late 70s. Their husbands have tried it first, and now they're coming in.
Yeah.
In terms of evolution of my target market, it has probably gotten older. I had in mind very clear avatars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're still valid. But number one was sort of a 60-year-old, whereas really my number one is probably a 70-year-old
Okay.
now. That sort of sounds subtle, but there can be quite a difference in a body that's 10 years
Oh, yeah.
older. That you know,
Yeah. And are you training anyone who's not your target market?
I
Yeah.
have done. Yeah, I've got 2 in their 40s who are pretty athletic. Um,
Hmm.
they're the extreme of my range of clients at the moment.
Yeah. I think the point is, it's like, just because I know people still worry about, oh, if you're so focused on one particular target market, then you're going to exclude all these people. And it's like, no, that's not what happens. What happens is you end up like acquiring everyone in your entire area in that particular target market. And you're still going to get people outside of that, because your target market is not your total market. You're
Yeah,
still going to attract
yeah.
others.
No,
Yeah.
and I should say at this point, Lawrence, yeah, the value of being on the forum in the membership calls is, my degree was in marketing. I've always known, everybody can say, oh, you need to be specific who you appeal to, but it's funny, you get in conversation with people, and I say, this is a Say Strength leaflet, and it says over 60s on it, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't say that, because what about you're excluding people? But no, I've been on the calls with you, and Luke Carson is there, and he's saying, like, it's just so crystal clear, the message. you should be alienating people. It's not try to be specific. You must alienate people so that you're speaking to someone.
Yeah.
And then you're very good at backing up that. Don't worry, you're not excluding them really. It's just you're being clear about who you are, and then you let people be attracted to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Yeah. It's so hard to do. It so goes against our like human instincts, but yeah, it makes a lot of difference. I mean, there's a reason why I don't create content or serve people outside of high intensity training. Same thing, right? It's the same reason. Because if I try to market to all fitness business owners, I get lost in the sea of, fitness business consultants, I guess. Perfect. All right. So just to summarize that bit, then it was again, it sounds like it was a combination of time in business, time in location, and multiple channels, acquiring enough people to then get the kind of referral flywheel going. And that was really the solution. Those were is that
and
fair? Yeah.
well, local business, the local business network I joined has to be in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Three of them have joined, and they've two of them have referred people. One of whom's now referred their spouse, and they're talking about referring another one. It's going, isn't it?
Mm.
And so I joined that in August, but it's so basically the last 6 months I was at the business network this week, and another person's come up to me who's come for the one-to-one in the studio. It's just this high value touch point, isn't it? Just this deep, experiencing what you do. And she's like, yeah, I actually want to, I live quite far. It's outside 25 minutes, but can I come once a fortnight? So we're having that discussion now.
And is it a Rotary Club? Remind me, the networking group. No.
It's basically a group of people who got cheesed off with BNI and started their own one.
What's it called? Is it
Hive? It's called.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember now. Okay. Fair enough. And is that like a once a week thing?
Once a fortnight.
Once a fortnight.
It's quite long. It's a sort of 3-hour meeting with breakfast. And what I've realized, people like to say, oh, it's much nicer than BNI because there isn't the pressure, there isn't the money counting and making profit for someone else. But it's slightly more subtle than that. The difference is, and why this business network works, is that you're referring people because you want to, not because you feel pressure to. And so actually, you're just building really good relationships and trust with people. That's where my SEO consultant is. I had a bunch of videos done with the video guy there. I'm, possibly there's other services there which I might take on, which is fine. And like I say, I've actually got a fifth, someone else in there, one of the last people to come for their one-to-one. He's late 70s. He's already got a personal trainer that he's been going to for years, twice a week. He's come to the studio once and he's like, oh, I might come and do this.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. That sounds like a great group. And, just to add to that, it's obviously BNI is still a great resource, and because they're more widely available to most people listening, there'll be a BNI, but don't just stop there. Look at Google, like go to meetup.com, Eventbrite, Google, Facebook, and look at all the local business events in your area, and obviously optimize for the ones where there's going to be your target market, right?
And chambers of commerce.
Yeah. Chambers of commerce, absolutely. Yeah. Any others that come to mind?
No, there isn't one here, and it's so good to me. It's occurred to me that I might start one in Chepstow, in my town, because I travel to the next town, which is 20 minutes. It's just inside that catchment, and it is working.
Excellent.
But I don't want to put the effort in, so I won't.
Well, I mean, maybe at some point it makes sense. Maybe if you've got trainers or whatever. You just reminded me. I remember you coming onto a mastermind. So in Hit Business Membership, for those that don't know, we do 2 1-hour mastermind calls every month where it's a group of hit entrepreneurs at different levels, and we all help each other, right? So we have a format. It's not quite as strict as BNI, but we have a format just to make sure that we make it as productive as possible and add as much value to everyone there. And it's all about just staying connected, not getting lonely, and realizing that there's people that have solved your problem in your hit business, because we're all in the same niche together, so we can figure this out. Not promoting myself too much. I forgot what I was actually going to ask you. That's it. But I remember you coming onto a mastermind at one point, and you were like, I was like, what's your challenge today, James? And you were like, I'm becoming a victim of my own success. You were like, I've acquired a lot of customers. I think this was August or September, where you were like, I just want to make sure I'm like able to, I was
Yeah.
worried about capacity and things
I
like
had
that.
a bit of, well, it's just a bit of anxiety of like, right, I've pretty
Yeah.
much doubled in a month, which I'm really happy with, but is this going to keep happening? Because that was a bit scary, the thought of growing really fast suddenly.
Yeah.
But the natural variation of things meant that wasn't a problem, but it was a different problem to have, a different
Yes.
sort to have.
A high quality problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'd say of BNI, I probably, the vision for Safe Strength, if I keep being a success and years down the road, I want more locations. If I open closer to a city, then I probably would join a BNI straight away. Just do it on day one, get things going.